Talk to him.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Whether the winters were left in the cold.
Let's move on to the reaction video. Let's do the reaction video, man. Let's see. Yes, Lord. So we heading over. We got a reaction video. We heading over to 8 at the table. They having a conversation about $500 dates being standard. I haven't watched any of this, so it's gonna be an authentic reaction. But y'all know from the go, I'm not. You know, we not doing that. $500 date for what? And they talking about first dates, I think too, which is diabolical. But let's roll.
You should feel like, damn, maybe I'm out here tripping, asking somebody to spend, I don't know, $500 on a meal for me on a first date. I'm
sorry. When did that start?
I feel like this shit is recent.
Within the past 5 years or within the past 10 years?
I don't know. Y'all younger than us.
would
What y'all
say
say?
10.
Well, all entertainment has played a big role in the ideologies of people. And now that entertainment, at some point, it wasn't accessible to everybody. Entertainment was primarily a luxury. And then eventually it got into the hands of everybody, no matter if they were 14 or 94. And now we do see an influx in the behavior simply because it is accessible to everybody. When did it start is a different question, but when did it become as prevalent? I think it would definitely have to be when ideologies and behaviors and entertainment has been able to share and push it on a wide scale, nation and worldwide.
So when like if we can pinpoint it, like when would it be? Because I think
2012. 2012 was what
You lying to me. You lying to me. In 2012? In 2012? Man, listen. Around that time, probably a little bit before then, maybe right around that time, I think I had 3 dates on one Valentine's Day weekend. I took all 3 of them to the same Red Lobster and had the same server, and I might have spent $120 the whole for 3 dates. I might have spent $120. Y'all talking about $500 first dates for what? For who? I'm spending $500 to find out whether I do or don't even like you. Nah. Who? I work for my money. Y'all work for, y'all got 100% passive income. Y'all don't work for y'all money. Y'all don't value the dollars that y'all had to work for. You would spend $500 to figure out whether you do or do not like a female. And then if you don't like her, you gonna first date somebody else for another $500. When? Same week? What y'all doing? Y'all have you guys don't have mortgage. You guys don't have mortgage or any type of bills, any adult things going on. 500.
I would say 2012 specifically because I remember that was the time where Instagram was out, but it was being pushed. If you didn't have Instagram by that time, if you didn't have Instagram, you were kind of a loser. But Facebook was cool because Facebook was chill. Twitter was out. People were just talking shit. But then Instagram came where there was only pictures. The only way you can compete with other people's pictures is if you had better pictures or better places, better settings. So eventually, I remember when I first went viral in 2013. It was at a party and I was on stage. And it wasn't even viral, but it was.
All right, while he do his story time, I got a question for y'all, chat. For the few of y'all that's in here, chat. I got a question. What should be the average cost of an entree on a first date? Right now, in 2025, what should be the average cost of an entree on a first date? Y'all answer that for me, chat. We're going to let him tell his story.
It was viral. It was probably like 400 likes, which at that time was hard to get. And it was just that we had sold out the show. We sold out the venue and it was lit. And we had this dope ass picture, me and my homie Quasi and my homie Haas. And I remember at that point in time, we were like, okay, we gotta stay here. And the only thing is you're gonna keep, doubling down on those moments and trying to capture those moments to the point where you had people had Vine. Vine was another big contributor to it too. That's when social media really started taking off, when people started going viral. And then, with that being said, then people started just competing with different types of settings that were
Hold on. We got answers. Hold on. Deacon said $55. The average cost of the entree, 55. Souls of Thought, $25 to $30. That's about right for me. 25 average cost of an entree, 55. So that means that's the mean. So what's the cheapest entree they got? And then what's the most expensive one if the average is 55? What's matter of fact, throw out a restaurant, Deacon. What establishment is that? For a $55 average cost an entree, what establishment is that? Because I've never been a fine dining type of guy. I've been to nice restaurants. It was always somebody else's idea. I've never been that type of person because the way my body work is when I eat food, then I shit it out. So I don't understand spending $600 on a meal. That's the way my body work. I don't know about y'all. What's that, Deacon? I never heard of that. It's a one-letter restaurant? That shit must be expensive, gang.
typically inaccessible to others.
I think that Instagram also did a good job of getting, businesses to start pushing content and, promoting themselves. So we had other options. It wasn't just Applebee's, Fridays, Red Lobster. Everybody wants to try that restaurant that they saw on Instagram with the nice pictures and the nice steak, and they got nice drinks.
Yeah, but I'm saying before that, it would have to be that the drug dealers were talking about it in songs. So I'm saying pre-social media.
Mhm.
It'd have to be the drug dealers talking about the places they went in songs, or not even drug dealers, the rappers, or because I don't think R&B's. I don't remember like Soul saying like, "Oh, we were at
Papado.
yeah."
Typically, when things affect Black people, it's typically the canary in the coal mine for everybody else. So I don't know if
Yeah, I was about to
Okay. I see what you mean, Deacon. So he said mostly any non-chain place like Malone's near the airport in Atlanta. That was your first mistake. I'm not eating near no airport. I'm not eating, not for a first date. I said, what's the average cost of an entree for a first date? You said $55. Everybody that dropped in, I'm asking a question while we do this reaction video. What y'all think should be an average cost of an entree on the menu? What should be the average cost on the menu of an entree for a first date? He said 55. Deacon, but you know what, Deacon, though? You ain't been on a first date in a long time, dog. You married. So you coming from a different angle. He said he had me at Atlanta. What you mean, Souls of Thought? What you mean? What you on with Atlanta? Don't do that. Shout out to A-Town. I had good times in Atlanta. I love the gentlemen's spa facilities, the gentlemen's clubs. Yeah, I love it. I love it there. We made the floor disappear in there one time. It was light. Deacon said, he said, I'm eating where I like to eat. Most cheap food is bad for you. So I'm going out. I'm eating good food. I feel that. I eat healthy too. I eat real healthy, especially when I go to restaurants, but it's still not that much for the average cost of an entree. Like, okay, for example, if I go to a place, I don't want to name no brands for the, YouTube, but if I go, there's like a bar restaurant not too far from where I grew up at, and they have a plant-based section of their menu. They have a plant-based section of their menu, which is why I go there, because I like, eating certain things. I like eating healthy. So with that section of the menu, the average cost of an entree is probably like $22, $23 for an entree in that section of the menu. And that's like the more expensive part of the menu. Then they have the most expensive thing you probably could get on their menu is probably like 70 something for the most expensive thing on their menu. You know what I'm saying? And that food is like healthy, it's fresh, it's good, but it's not 55. It's kind of crazy. And Atlanta cost of living is supposed to be low. So that's kind of wild, especially for a first date too. Like, I'm not overspending to find out if I like or dislike a female. I'm just not, it doesn't make sense financially. Souls of Thought said he had me at Atlanta. Deacon said, "Are you eating where he like?" Souls of Thought said, "You know they overcharged there." Yeah, for sure, for sure. They're trying to run it up. Was in Atlanta this year. It's overpriced just because of who owns it. Oh, just because of who owns what? Oh, yeah. Like the celebrity-owned establishments. It's a lot of clout-based business being done out there too. So you paying for namesake and all that. The service might not even be all that. But see, this the thing. When I go to the South, that's what I'm saying, y'all. Like, I'm modest. Like, when I go to the South, take me to the Waffle House. Because where I'm from, ain't no Waffle House. I just want to go to Waffle House. I ain't really tripping. You feel me? Like, let's keep it all the way simple. Like, I don't even all of that what people get caught up in, I'm not into it. Deacon said a decent fresh grouper is about $50 with one side. I make pretty decent money, over 100K, so that's not that much to me, but I'm married, so you're right. I wouldn't even date these days. Yeah. Nah, 50 ain't nothing crazy, not even for a date price, but for a first date price, I'm not spending that. You see what I'm saying? Not for a first date. That's what I mean. Now, even if we on a third date, the average cost of an entree might be 50, because now I'm starting to feel like I like you. You know what I'm saying? At that point, if that's what I'm doing with Shorty, then that's what we doing. But it's like the first date, I'm damn near trying to do that for free. For real. To see if I like you. I don't even know you. Yeah, I'm damn near trying to get that out the way for free. For sure. And listen, all of the responses that we see online from men saying stuff like that, like, oh, like, just because you don't want to overexert yourself or not even overexert yourself, you don't want to be financially irresponsible. So you just simply making a smart decision. Hey, to get to know you, I'd rather just meet for breakfast or brunch real quick. You know what I'm saying? Or some coffee real quick. Some tea if you don't drink coffee. And if you don't drink, tea, what you doing? So it's like, you know what I mean? I'm trying to do that for a light price. We mostly both invest in time and energy, not so much resources. When I realize I like you, that's when I'm gonna tap into resources. And we're not even doing too much of that. You know what I'm saying? Because at a point in time, when you married, it's different. But when you dating, at a point in time, if you overextending on your resources, you kind of getting pimped a little bit. But let's get back into the reaction, man. Let's see what they talking about.
To say you got to explain.
Meaning it's like the
How do you get in there? What's canary in coal mine?
canary in the coal mine is like, it's like a sign of something that's going on, and it's like, okay, this is happening. It's like a warning, and we've traditionally been impacted first, and that's, I would say, it's maybe because of where we are economically, where we are in the housing market, things like that. But I don't feel like they know first.
This stuff has always been cultural, though. Whatever's been popping was always the place. Like, I'm from New York. The Tunnel was a popular place in the 90s club. Webster Hall,
Speed,
Roxy, all these places. Even on a teenager level, like the Skate Key was one of the places that you wanted to go to skate. It's just now, instead of word of mouth about phone, the places are on social media telling you where to go that's popping, and it promotes it for people like you brought up. So now people want to be at the popping place that's $400 for, a table. So that just made it worse.
And the thing, we are natural competitors, and social media was always used for business, and it's really supposed to be, it still isn't, I would say 80-20 when it comes to business to consumers. Now you do, like he said, mentioned, businesses utilize social media as opposed to 7, maybe 8, maybe 10 years ago, businesses weren't on social media. You wouldn't have found websites.
That's the thing too about being like woke. You can't market to me. That's part of being a part of the flock. Like, you know how we call people, like, you know how enlightened people will call the majority of thinkers, the group thinkers, we'll call them sheeple, like they sheep. That's part of, like, when you not, that's the thing about not being a part of the flock, right? So, like, okay, you could put all the marketing on social media you want. Literally. Like you can put as much on there as you want. You're not making me buy nothing. You're not. And you're not gonna make me compete with the next man over nothing. I've never in my life, and maybe it's due to my upbringing and the things that was taught to me, I never had keeping up with the Joneses syndrome. I never cared. I'm just literally that type of person. I'm the type of person where y'all wouldn't even know if I was rich or not. Y'all wouldn't even know. You wouldn't know. Same t-shirt, same everything. You wouldn't know. Same car. I don't care about cars. I literally don't care about cars. I don't care. I don't have a dream car, a favorite car, none of that. As long as it's clean and it's new, like up to date, and it's gonna get me to and fro reliably through a 4-season climate, I'm groovy. I ain't really tripping. And it need to have enough space. I need my boxing bag to go in there. I need, you know what I mean, my bike. But other than that, I don't care who made it. I don't care. Like, I don't care. I'm just not superficial at all. If you could set it on fire, it don't matter that much. You know what I mean? Like, and obviously people can get set on fire, but like, I'm talking about material stuff. Like if this, you know what I mean? If your house go to burn down and all your whole family get out, but like some of your greatest possessions, you can't save them. It's like, you gonna feel unfulfilled without those possessions, or you gonna be so grateful that your whole family got out. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been to a lot of countries. I've traveled a lot. So I've seen like poverty. Like American poverty is still kind of luxurious in a lot of places. American poverty is still kind of luxurious. I've seen poverty. So when you see that, you start learning how to be grateful a little different. So like when people be talking about like the way they spend their money just because they have a lot of money, like that shit I don't judge nobody for what they do with their bread. If you're able to make bread, go crazy, do your thing. Like, but me personally, I'm just a chill dude. Like I spend a lot of money on certain shit. Like when I go on vacation, I'm gonna have all the accommodations that I'm preferential to. Everything that's my preference, I'm gonna have when I go on vacation. But you would never catch me spending $600 on a dinner. You just not. It's not gonna happen. What you say, souls of thought? I tell people that in Kuwait, their poor was poor. Yeah, it's a different type of poor. And, you know, that's when you could tell when you're talking to people who have been well-traveled too. Some people are well-traveled. Some people have traveled just a little bit. Some people are travel a lot domestically, like within the States. But when you leave out the country and you've hit multiple different countries, like I'm up to 23. It's about to be 26 pretty soon, a little later this year when I get back on my feet. But yeah, when you've moved around and you've seen like a different level of poverty, you start just realizing how gluttonous we are on average here in America. So you talk about like to me, whether I have $10 million or $10,000, $500 on one meal still gonna be $500 on one meal, because I know how many people I could feed or help, or even how much I could set up my own future if it's about me, or something I could put some bread into for my future little ones, or anything with $500. $500 is still $500. If $500 was all you had left to try to turn it over and flip it to make your rent or your payroll for your business this month, you are stretch the hell out that 500. So 500 always gonna be 500. It's never not 500. It's 500. Your circumstances may make you feel different about that 5, but that 5 still 5. So when people like burn money and shit like that, that shit hurt my soul. Cause why burn it up? Go get, listen, go in a random restaurant and buy like 10 appetizers and go get them appetizers out to some homeless folks. Like go, if you want to burn some money, go tithe that shit to the streets. You feel me? So like that 500 on the first date shit, I don't care what you do for a living. It's just, in my opinion, and this, it can't be right or wrong. This is just my opinion. So I'm not saying y'all wrong either. But in my opinion, it's a poor purchase. That's a poor expense. And I don't care how much you get into it. That shit crazy. He said 20 years in the military, I seen the world. So you know exactly what I'm talking about then. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Talking about living in huts, villages of huts. The houses, 10 houses. Yeah. Real favelas. Yeah, all that. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm glad you in the chat today, Souls of Thought. Salute.
Mr. Hall on social media in 2012.
Hold on.
But at that point in time, and I just remember from like the journey of an influencer, you know, they were doing so much and getting so much love for relatively nothing. And then it became a big pop. I don't know if it was with YouTube or what, but when you can actually make money by going to places and people started paying you just to come to their event, whatever it may be, then people start to say, well, you know what? I'm already looked at this light. I need to keep that experience or whatever moments that we capture at your event to be equivalent to all the other photos or videos that I already have. Now, anybody else, which everybody became, or everybody, I don't want to say everybody, but a lot of people now have the desire to be a social media influencer. Because whenever people see, same thing with podcasting, whenever people see something is working, they jump on a bandwagon. But now we're all seeing the truth about it. It's not realistic. A lot of people can't last that long. It costs money. It literally, it's not as easy as people think it is, but they're buying into these lifestyles and they're trying to, you know, they're trying to live a life that they are not built to live. And I hate to say this, but I got to quote Future. Because Future said, you're spending all your show money trying to keep up with my image. Right? So these people are getting different types of, you know, advances or sponsorship dollars.
Hey, is that, chat, is that zesty? When men overextend themselves to try to keep up with an image to compare to other men, is that kind of zesty? Is that like over? Is that an excessive amount of male focus? I think it is. I think it's a little sweet. Because I give a damn about the next man in comparison to myself. As far as me, I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm doing what I'm doing. And how I stack up against the male population and where I fall amongst my competition of the brotherhood, I know where I'm at. But I ain't waking up every day thinking about whether or not the next man did 50 push-ups when I did 55. I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? I'm not worried about this dude wearing a shirt that got DG all over it and overextended on a fucking sweater, and I bag his bitch in a white tee all day long. Them designers don't mean shit. It ain't in, it's in you, it ain't on you. I'll be trying to tell y'all, if you got it, you got it. Why you think hobosexuals exist? It's some men that are just innately good with women. Y'all out here buying women, flying women. Y'all out here doing all this shit, and this dude's out here that just know how to talk good. His Jordans ain't even clean. And a bag your bitch. That's what's really going on. Couch surfing. Yep. It's a real thing. He said, yes, sir. They both said they find it to be zesty. Yeah, that shit zesty. You waking up every day, all you thinking about is comparing to the next man. You got too much dude on your brain. It's too much dude on your mind.
And their only thing that they're doing is trying to display that they're as worthy as somebody like him or somebody at his level. And I think that's where we got to this point today, where everybody's doing the most for nothing, ultimately to start back at the bottom again.
So it seems like we have gone on a tangent. I don't know. I think knowing this piece of information, like if this was, I mean, it's been on social media, obviously, but if like the statistics that he gave us, if that is shared like community wide, I would hope that it would like start, it would have people to start thinking about like, what are we doing? And look how we've gotten to where we got so quickly. And then we have to ask ourselves, why are we dating like them? Why are we pushing the provider narrative? Because let's be real, it's both parties. It's male and it's men and women.
I think this is the first time I ever agree with her in my whole life. It is both parties pushing the provider narrative. It's both. You got men out here that's pandering to females by saying, yeah, you know, I'll pay for everything and you should pay for everything and real men pay for everything. And you got women out here saying you can't get with them if you're not doing this and you're not doing that. All right, that's the first time I ever agree with her, because she be saying a lot of shit that's not true. I've even caught her on several occasions just making facts up, just making shit up. Google that shit on the live and it's like, this shit is not true. But she's actually right. It's both parties responsible for that shit, because my parents been together 40-something years. 40-something years, still clicking to this day. And both of them have always contributed financially to the household. And it's been windows of time where one wasn't working and the other one was holding everything down, and the other one wasn't working and the other one was holding everything down. I seen both. And the crazy part about it is y'all will say y'all don't want nobody with you if they can't just do everything. But yet the results, ladies and gentlemen, the results. My parents could look back at the end of their lives and be like, we did it the real way. We did it God's way. We got married. We didn't get divorced. We weathered all the storms. We had amazing times. We traveled the world together. We bought houses. We did all this. We did that. And we death did us part. They gonna be able to say that. They got the results. All the shit y'all think is uncool to go through and you ain't putting up with, and you can't even get a date if you ain't, and all this other silly shit is completely unrealistic and is keeping a whole bunch of people single. Practicality and some modesty. I'm never going to tell y'all to be humble, because the definition of humble is damn near synonymous with low self-esteem. But modesty would take y'all a long way. Deacon Chris said it's a manipulation tactic. That's why I'm grateful for feminism. You grateful for feminism? Please elaborate on that. I'll read the whole paragraph. Please elaborate on why you're grateful for feminism. Soul of Thought says that's love, fam. Couples now are looking for the benefit of a partner. Yeah, and you know what you don't hear anymore? You don't really hear people talking about falling in love. You hear a lot of conversations about preferences, qualifications, specifications, prioritizations, you know, all this different shit. You don't really hear people talking about falling in love no more. You really don't. If y'all ever catch me outside somewhere and I'm with a little lady, best believe she like me. She like me. I refuse to deal with a woman that I gotta convince to like me, convince to trust me, convinced to follow me, convinced to believe me. If I got to convince you, you don't want to be under my covering. You don't want to be under my covering. If y'all ever catch me outside with a lady, she like me. For real, too, a lot. Because I ain't dealing with nothing. I'm not dealing with nothing that don't like me like that. Yeah. Listen, dudes don't even be knowing when they dealing with females that don't like them. The minute a female tell you where you can't take her to eat, and it's not because she got allergies, she don't like you, gang. She don't. It's true. She don't. I done had female tell me, pick wherever. I'll find something on the menu wherever we go. I ain't even tripping off that. I just want to see you. That's a woman that like you, folks. So these dudes out here overextending themselves and you really playing yourself at the end of the day. Like, you think you impressing a woman, but you really just, like, all that shit you doing, you just giving her, incentivizing her to just spend some time with you for the night. She don't even gotta, who's turning down an evening with a fancy meal, you know, in a fancy place with some nice wine, I'm sure, or whatever drinks y'all drinking. Who turning that down? They're not turning that down if that's what you coming to the table with, gang. They're not turning that down. But it also don't help you identify whether or not this woman like you. Ask her to meet you at the river walk so y'all could just walk and have a conversation and see if she pull up for that. If that's not enough effort for her, she don't like you. Merch it. Deacon Chris said, feminism freed men from the illusion that women are helpless children with breasts and coerced them into being functional adults instead of preying on the nature of men to protect the weak. Okay. I see where you're coming from when you say it freed men of the illusion that women are helpless children with breasts. They're not helpless children with breasts. But in a world where men are uncivilized, they are helpless. Luckily for them, we have decided to be civilized. It's a lot of first world country privilege that goes on with the American women. A lot of first world country privilege. You know what I'm saying? Just talking crazy. You know, it's real radical in some countries now. You get to talking crazy, they'll cut your tongue out your mouth. For real. So it get radical out here. But here in America, they don't gotta be quiet. And they don't stop till they get enough. But yeah, man, I think we can move on from the reaction video though, because they kind of more so talking about at this point, they're kind of more so just talking about why it's gotten to the point where people feel the need to spend the 500. So we kind of get their point. We don't need to watch the whole 30 minutes of that video. But yeah, it's a lot of people that's trying to play the comparison game and keep up with the next person and the next person. You know, women that get my attention are the ones that don't give a damn about that shit, like I don't give a damn about that shit. Genuinely too, not pretending not to give a damn so they can get my attention, but they genuinely don't give a damn. Yeah. I learned from seeing my parents all these years that, like, I learned what a realistic long-term marriage looks like from a family that lives middle class, upper middle class, and just lives within their means. And I've seen the happiness. My family gatherings on the holidays are beautiful. A lot of smiles, a lot of love, a lot of home cooked food, and it's all good. Okay, we got, you know, wood floors in the house instead of marble. Ooh, like we be giving a fuck about shit that ain't shit. It ain't shit. Like it doesn't mean shit. Them family gatherings would be just as awesome in the woods in a cabin on some rickety, crickety floors as they is in the house we be in, as they would be at an upscale Airbnb. It's the people, it's the gathering, it's the love. I think that's what's most important. And I think that's what we've gotten away from when it comes to finding love. People ain't even looking for love. They looking for amenities. I'm telling y'all, it's hotels.com. What do you come with? Is it free breakfast? Is there a fitness center? Is there a hot tub? Is there a hot tub in the suite? You know what I'm saying? What do you come with? Who's still looking for love? Who looking to just find somebody that they like a whole lot, that like them a whole lot back, and we just gonna go from there? We just gonna go from there. Yeah. Who doing that? That shit damn near over with, ain't it? Deacon Chris said, it allowed men not to have to commit to a lifetime time of servitude just to have a woman who doesn't really love them. Men have been freed to indulge in the things that they like instead of servitude. I appreciate your perspective on that. I appreciate your perspective. I can see how a great large populace of men would completely be in alignment with that thinking. You said you're absolutely correct. About which part, Deacon? This just popped up. But yeah, this shit get wicked.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Weathered the winters when left in the cold. Hardened my heart and that heart.